Hello, Virgo. So I'm going to be doing a unique spread that they're having us do. And actually, they're still explaining it to me. Okay. So what we're doing is we're pulling cards from John Holland's Psychic Tarot Oracle card deck. We're also pulling some like clarifiers, additional information from the Fairy Lenormand deck. At the end, I have prayed over and shuffled my Doreen Virtue Angel Answers card. We will pull one of those. So if there's any questions you guys still have at the end, I will pull one of those for you. And I do have my Sibilas shuffled here and ready to go in case we need any additional clarifiers as we work our way through these. So let me move these. So what we are doing, foundation, what can't be changed, what you're unaware of, and what the outcome will be. So let me spread these out a little bit, and then I'll make sure you guys can actually see them. And we'll get started. And these over here, when I was shuffling and went to pull these two are sticking together. So you get two, you get a bonus. Now, I don't think those are gonna go all the way across, so we'll just work our way through it. We'll do that with them. So let's see here. Let me actually make sure you guys can see those. Outstanding. All right, let's see what is going on here. So here in the center, this is the situation. You know, this is you, this is where you're currently at. And you have these two cards. Let's see if we can get them up without messing them up. Okay. So the first card that you have is Material Harvest. Now in this deck, he has different colors. So the red has to do with physical things. Green has to do with emotional. And like this purplish color, that has to do with spiritual things. Now it's interesting because two of your cards are physically related, two of them are emotionally, two of them are spiritually. So right out the gate, it's saying that this is something where you're actually having to do some things. You're needing to take some action steps. It's a very emotional, trying time for you. But it's being spiritually led, spiritually guided. So you can't take a misstep. It says Material Harvest. It has a guy sitting there. He has coins, fruit, jars in front of him. And he kind of has his hands open like an offering. Now this card typically talks about, you know, what you sow, you'll reap. Working really hard for your harvest because, you know, you'll work all spring and summer planting the seeds. So then in the fall and the harvest time, you can cut those down, take those into your home to feed you, sustain you and your family for the year. But it's really a lot of hard work. It's really getting things done. Really putting our nose to the grindstone. Now the next card that we have here, and this is from the Fairy Lenormand, is Flowers, the bouquet. Now, the meanings of these cards, I'm going to go over what the meanings of these cards are because these are a little bit different than your traditional Lenormand. Now with this deck, this is a card that talks about appreciating. It's appreciation. It's appreciating the needs of others, appreciating our needs, expecting other people to appreciate our needs. It's really about where we place those things that we value. So what they're saying is that a number of you right now, you're going through a situation where you're having to make some changes about where you've placed your monetary value, but also the value of the things that you love. Because they're saying, you see how his hands are spread open. So for some of you, and he's illuminated by pink, so a lot of you have been giving your money, giving your finances. You've been the benefactor. You've been caring for someone else financially. You've been providing for them financially, which of course provides them food, housing. You can see there's pillars behind them of structures of home. You've been providing for the home, providing for someone, for a family. You're saying for some of you, you know, that for a person who was your family, could be a spouse, could be an ex-spouse, could be a lover, partner. And for a number of you, this could be, because I get a sense for majority of this is like marriage, but something that you're committed to, loyal to, that for the majority of you, this is love related because you have the pink. So you were committed to this person. You gave them, you offered them everything that you had. They're saying a small number of you, this was your job, your career that you were married to. You were giving everything you had to that organization, to that structure in order to build a home for yourself. But you gave everything of yourself, everything that you valued. But it was built on a rocky foundation, is what they're saying. If you can see here, these flowers are on these like boulders. You know, you've got green all around, but this is nothing but rocks. And they're saying for those of you, you've given everything to that. and it wasn't able to grow, wasn't able to sustain. So you're going through this change right now where you're having to let that go. You're having to make these changes, which is this foundation here. So the first card that you have is Choose Wisely. And this is, again, it's an emotional card that it's talking about. And it is, because they're saying, okay, we're going to tie these two together. You are having to make it a very emotionally difficult decision regarding this, because you do have some choices, you do have some opportunities, but you are at a pivotal point where you do have to make a decision. It's a challenging decision. It's a very emotional decision, because you've been giving to this person, to this career, this business. You've been giving it your all, for some of you, for years, but it hasn't reaped a harvest. You've given everything of you to it, but now you're at the point of having to make the decision about leaving that behind. Leaving that person behind, taking control back. And it's a difficult decision. And the reason it's such a difficult decision, they're saying, is because for most of you, they're saying it's a person. But for some of you, like they said, it could be your career. It could be your business that you started, that you've just given your all to. You built and you laid some roots, some foundation. This is the tree. In this deck, this is called longevity. Sometimes this can talk about health. So for some of you, this is physically, because it is so emotionally draining. For some of you, it is affecting your finances. For some of you, you've had to garner some legal advice and guidance. But it's a very stressful time. And for some of you, it is affecting your health. But this is family ties, ancestry, building a lineage, something long withstanding. So the foundation is, you're having to make a choice. So you've laid roots and foundation with this person, with this work environment, with this career, this situation. You laid the foundation. You started to grow something that you thought would be very fruitful. It would bear fruit for you. It would bring you a harvest. But what you ended up doing was you ended up giving everything you had to that person. And you've now come to the point, now for some of you it's tied to family. So for some of you, this may be, okay, so some of you are contemplating divorce, because 5 is a number of change. 7 is getting on the path that you're meant to be on. So for some of you, you're having to give up this person who has become your family. For some of you, this career, this business, that's like a family. You've been married to it. For some of you, this person is tied to family. So maybe you started to create a family with them. Or for some of you, their family became your family. Maybe you also invested in a family business, because you see he's giving everything he has to this person, to this situation. He's giving his all on a rocky foundation that he thought would bear fruit. He thought it would stand the test of time. But changes have come in. Number 5, changes, and they're divinely orchestrated. 7 is the number of getting you on your path. So you've come to this critical moment where you have to make a decision. It's an emotional decision. It's a difficult decision. You can see that there's choppy waters here, but a decision has to be made in order to move forward. And for a number of you, it is about love. You see, you've got the 2 birds here in the hearts. So for a majority of you, this is about leaving a person behind, but a decision does have to be made. And the decision is being made to get you on your path that you're meant to be on. Now, the things that cannot be changed are these cards that we have over here. And again, the first card is something material. It says financial and material changes. And this card talks about losses, losing things, challenges, changes, often, primarily tied to money, material, finances. It's a difficult period that you're going through. It's a difficult time, again, of change. This is a number 5 card. You're going through some tremendous changes. It's emotionally draining. It's difficult to make those changes, because some of you are also needing to get assistance of legal assistance, advisors, financial advisors, attorneys, in order to separate yourself from this person. And for some of you, to separate yourself from this career, they're saying for some of you, business venture. But these changes are happening because they're meant to happen. It's not a punishment. It's actually transforming things for the better. Again, getting you to that path that you're meant to be on. And a lot of you have been going inward. You see this figure is alone by himself at the end of the pier. A lot of you have been doing a lot of contemplating, a lot of thinking. They are commending you on that, because it has been the time for you to consider and think about, okay, well, what was it I was supposed to learn from this? How am I going to grow from this? How am I going to be a better me? How am I going to be able to change things in the future? How will I be able to do things differently with someone else, or do things differently in a different career field, or if I started another business? How can I make it better? How can I make that succeed? And they're saying it's not you. Some of you think that it's you. It's not you. This was divinely meant to be. It was simply a lesson. But you are at the point that it is up to you, Noah. They're saying it is up to you now to make the decision to move forward, because you're the one who's determining how long this lesson is going to take. So the reason they're saying that, we're going to cover this one a little bit more in a second, because the things that can't be changed. So for some of you, this is a situation, a person that you keep going back to. This person is, they're like a temptation to you. So like the card that we have here, the Lenormand, is the snake. And you see the fairies like reaching out to the snake. Now in this card, this is called stealth. You know, it talks about temptation, timing, knowing when to act on our impulses, knowing when not to act. Also can talk about patience. So for some of you, you do need a little bit of patience as you're going through these changes, because for some of you, well, for all of you in this situation, you've got a lot of divine spiritual connection. It is being divinely ordained, divinely orchestrated. You do have to take some actions along the way. There are things that have to be done. But for some of you, you do have to be patient along the way, because they're saying for some of you, you've taken your steps. So these cards are talking about what can't be changed. So for some of you, you have a person. So say he had a lover, an ex-wife, a wife, ex-partner, and she's been a temptation. If you go back to Adam and Eve, you know, the snake was the temptation to take, you know, the bite of the apple. So a lot of you in this situation are being tempted to go back there. You see how the fairies just kind of reaching out, but every time you reach out to this person, every time you try to better things and improve things, you always keep getting hurt. You keep getting, they're saying that song, once bitten, twice shy. But every time, so for some of you, it's a sexual thing. So for some of you, you keep going back to this person. So maybe he keeps going back to her because they have, you know, crazy wild sex. Maybe they're into S&M. And, you know, he keeps going back because it's a huge temptation. But for some, they're saying you're not going to change this person. You're not going to change the situation with them. Every time you go back to this person, you reach out to them. So for some of you, you're reaching out to help. For some of you're just reaching out because you want to reach out and touch them. But every time you go and you reach back out, you simply get bitten. Every time. It's not going to change. It's not going to turn around. It's not going to improve. See, it's very desolate. It's a desolate situation. It simply was meant to be a lesson. And they're pointing out how there's a boulder here, there's a boulder here, because you built your foundation with this person. It's a rocky foundation. It was a situation to learn and to grow from and to move on. So it's not going to change. Reaching out to that person again, no matter how, because they're saying for some of you, it's been so emotionally draining that you are contemplating, okay, well, what if I go back and I try one more time? And that's why they were saying it's up to you to say and determine how long you're going to sit in this painful situation. Because continuing to try and go back and make it work is just delaying the inevitable. You're just stalling everything, and you're causing more heartache for yourself. Because that person is not going to change. They're going to continue to bite. They're saying they're going to continue to bite the hand that feeds them. You see how he's got food here. So for many of you, this is a spouse, partner, someone that you have been a benefactor for. You have provided for them. You have taken care of them. You have done it from a place of love, but every time you go back, it doesn't work. You end up getting hurt. There's a lot of deception surrounding it. So that cannot be changed. Cannot be changed, is not going to be changed. They're trying to move you past this so that you can, and this is beautiful. We're going to go over that here in a second. They're trying to get you onto bigger, better, beautiful things. Now the other thing, this isn't so pretty what can't be changed, but this is beautiful that can't be changed. And this is a spiritual card. It's number 6. It's victory and success. This says, you know, it speaks of good news being on the way. This is a positive card. This is a card that it speaks of victory, completion, completing a difficult period, a difficult time, successfully completing, ending, culminating an emotionally difficult time, and coming out on top. The victor coming out triumphant. You see, he's blowing the trumpet here. He's sounding the horn. And for a number of you in this situation, you have been guided by the angels to leave this person, leave this situation for a long time. It's not a surprise. It's been coming for a while. And they're pointing out this ribbon of the banner. It's red, kind of like almost like bloodshed. You've shed a lot of tears and a lot of pain with this person. You've tried a lot. You've given everything you had to this person. They're saying for most of you, it's a person. So, you know, you've given her everything you've got. Here's everything I've got. I love you. I want to make this work. Oh my gosh, I want to build everything with you. Every time getting stung and burnt and hurt. Now, for some of you, small number, they're saying you've given everything you have to your career, that structure, that business structure. But you've shed a lot of tears. For some of you, it's been very cutthroat. There's been So for some of you, the person's very cruel with their words, cruel with their actions. So you come to this person, you're tempted, you reach out to them. You maybe want to physically reach out to them. Maybe you want to reach out and take care of them, move forward with a family. And every time they burn you, they hurt you, they say cruel, mean things that cause you, your heart to bleed. But what cannot be changed is you are getting past that person now. It is up to you to determine how long you're going to sit in this place of misery and loneliness. But you're divinely guided. You see, you've got the sun up there. So, for those of you in this situation, you have known for a very long time, for many of you months, for some of you years, as to what was coming. You have been guided. You've been given a lot of signs, epiphanies, ahas, every step of the way. But you are at the point, a pivotal point, where you have to take some action steps. And what you're unaware of is the two cards that we have here. The first one is fulfillment of wishes, and this is beautiful. It's number 9. This is another emotional card. You have 2 emotional cards here on the deck, and if you can see, they're the figures between 2 waterfalls. He has a chest open with it's glowing with gold. So they're saying for those of you that are worried about money, don't worry about money. What you are unaware of is that your finances are actually going to be better once you make this leap of faith and finally leave that person, finally leave that career, finally, they're saying for some of you, finally leave the way that person made you feel. You know, the fairy reaching out and getting bitten by the snake every time, that hurt. It's made you fearful of moving forward with someone else and fear that this is going to be repeated. But they're saying to not fear that, because things are going to turn out more beautifully than you can imagine, and also financially. So for some of you, they're saying, you know, you've given all your finances to this person, and maybe you want to move forward with someone else, but you're like, okay, I can't support them, I can't sustain this, or oh, what are they going to think? Your finances are going to turn around. Have faith. Your finances are actually going to be better. For some of you, they're saying for some of you, you're fearful of splitting things and splitting finances, so maybe you own property together, that you're fearful of splitting those things will hurt you financially, and you're fearing, you know, being able to provide for yourself, and for a number of you, providing for someone else. They're saying to not worry about that. You're going to be taken care of. Now, this card, of all of his cards, and actually of all the minor arcana cards, this is the most positive one, because it does represent emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment, happiness, joy, pleasure, everything that you wish, everything that you desire coming true. And everything from happiness to love to career to health, it's all of it being successful, a successful completion, successful new beginnings, accomplishing, reaching, obtaining your hopes, your dreams, your goals. They're all at the palm of your hand. You're just not aware of it because you're still kind of stuck in this place, but you're close to freeing yourself. It's just they're saying you have to put one foot forward and take that step. You have to accept what is not meant to be, graciously let that go, and then be open to receiving the blessings that are coming your way, because they are. And for some of you, they're saying that, you know, you have to let not only that person go, but you have to let go how they made you feel. You have to heal your heart. You see, there's a lot of green here. In order to move forward with another, so for those of you, this is a love situation. Maybe you gave everything you had to her. And we're going to stick with what's in the card. We have a guy in the card, but this could be a woman. Maybe you gave everything you had to him. You gave everything you had. And you know, so here he's open-armed, he's got everything to offer, he keeps giving it to her, keeps being hurt time and time again. So now he's fearful of, okay, I finally let her go. I realize every time I get hurt and burnt, I'm ready to move forward, but what if someone else does it? This is a time to heal those memories, heal those past, heal those hurts. Ignore my grumbling stomach, I haven't eaten yet today. But to heal those things that have held you hostage. Because you have, they're saying you have been held hostage by those feelings. For some of you, that person purposefully did those things to hold you hostage because they needed your assistance. They needed you to provide and care for them. They used that. They preyed on that. But this is the right time to heal yourself of that so that you can free yourself. To forgive that person. Forgive them. Forgive them, even if you don't say that to them in person. Forgive them. You can even thank them for the lesson. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. They're saying for some of you, you have to forgive yourself. Because for some of you, you're beating yourselves up like, oh my gosh, why did I keep doing that? Why time and time again when I kept getting, when he kept hurting me repeatedly, and they had this repeated pattern, why was I so foolish to keep going back to that? You have to forgive yourself. It was a lesson. It took you a little bit longer to learn the lesson. It's okay. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me mess this up one more time just so I can be sure that, okay, this is not the path for me. Now I know for sure. Forgive yourself. Because everything that you desire, the thing you are not aware of, is on the horizon. It's there. For some of you, they're saying it's already there. So for some of you, they already have another love interest for you. For some of you, they already have another career path lined up for you. It's all lined up for you. It's ready to go, but are you ready to go? That's the thing, because you can't have it until this is all gone. So you're unaware of that everything you want, everything you treasure, truly value, and desire and want, it's there. It's ready. It's waiting. It's waiting on you, because you have to take some action. You have to let things go. Which is what this card's talking about. Now, this card in your traditional Lenormands talks about, it's, the scythe. It talks about getting hurt, getting cut to the core, cut to the bone. But in this deck, it's a card that talks about clearing away things that aren't meant for you, cutting things out of your life, cutting people out of your life that aren't meant to be there. Because you have to get rid of the old to make space for the new. You can't create new beginnings with someone if you're still holding on to someone from the past. You can't, so some of you are looking at completely changing careers. You can't embark on a new career path if you're still grasping onto the other one in fear of, how am I going to be able to provide for myself? You'll be provided for. What you're not aware of is the moment you let that go. So whether it's a person, career, the moment you let that go, you finally cut that out of your life, is the moment that your dreams come true. Now, for some of you, they're congratulating, because for some of you, you have made the decision to finally leave this person, even though it involved their family, your family, there were family connections. Some of you, you've tried for years and years and years to make it work and it didn't work. They're commending you because you finally let that person go, but you're still fearful of someone else doing that to you. So for some of you, you have a new love, a new potential love interest, but you're terrified that they're going to hurt you like someone else had done in the past. So, of an analogy. So if you think of when someone puts up a fence, they'll have the corner post, and I'm horrible at carpentry, but the funny thing is my grandfather had his own business doing carpentry, and my uncles do it for years. But the corner posts on the fence, they're thick. And I don't know if they're 4 inches by 4 inches, but anyhow, so thick post for your fence. So when you're in a relationship with someone and they say some hurtful things, they come and they bite you, they say cruel things to you on purpose. And sometimes they could even say it not mean to. But once they've said it, it's kind of like driving a nail into the post. They drive that nail in, and then afterwards there's apologies, and you pull the nail out of the post. So the nail's gone. The thing that was said is gone, but the hole remains. And what's happened with a number of you is you've had this person in your life that has repeatedly said things to you, driving nail after nail after nail into your post. And your post has been filled with holes. So now your post is so weak because it's infiltrated with all these holes that it's not able to sustain itself. It's not able to stay upright. That person's gone who did this to you. The marks that they've left are still there, which have you fearful of moving forward with someone else. The angels are saying they have hole filler. They can help you with that. They can help you heal your heart. For a number of you, they're trying to do that. So for some of you, this is a spiritually guided journey. You've actually been having a lot of chest pain. So between your ribs, probably about, for most of you, 4 inches to the right of your heart, right smack in the middle of your chest, you've been having some heart pain, some chest pain. That's your heart center. So the divine have already they've been trying, and they have been successfully healing your heart. And they're saying for most of you, they've actually mended that post. The post is back to whole. It is. But you have to trust that, and you have to take that leap of faith. And for some of you that aren't completely done yet, put your focus on that, so that the post is fully mended, and for some of you completely repaired and replaced, so that you can move forward. And they're saying trust, because not everyone's going to betray your trust and hurt you like that. Now, this last card, these are beautiful. So we get kind of ugly down here, and this is beautiful, and it's going to get even more beautiful up here. So this is, the outcome. The first card we have is accelerated motion. You see here she's looking over at, you know, shooting star. It is talking about, you know, swift action, speed, movement quickly. It also talks about passion and hope, and most importantly, the end of all delays. So for some of you, know how they were mentioning earlier that, you know, you become impatient because things are taking so long. The delays are over. And for some of you that continue to keep, you know, trying to go back and keep getting bitten, the divine has stepped in to remove that so that you aren't delayed from getting to the happiness, getting to those things that you desire, that you really do want. It's just not with that person. It's with someone else. That's why they're cutting them out of your life. And for some of you, you want to have, you know, contentment and fulfillment and balance with your career. It's not there. It's with a different career. It's a different field. It's a completely different field. But the divine has stepped in to start moving things forward, because they're saying, so for some of you in this situation, you've just dug your heels in. A lot of you have gone inward. You've just been on your own. They're saying for some of you, overthinking it, but not taking any action. It's time for action. They're actually propelling you forward into doing that. But things are going to be heading in the right direction. You are moving forward to your goals. For some of you, you do need to brace yourself because it is going to happen rapidly, but don't fight against it. Trust, have faith, go with it. Go with the flow. God, the divine, angels, they're taking you to a better, more positive place. They're taking you to where you're meant to be. And this is beautiful. You have the card that's the sun. In traditional Lenormand, this is the sun. And in this deck, it's called Will, is what this card is, because, you know, you see the sun is, you know, shining brightly down on her. It's illuminating things. It's giving focus. It's giving clarity. It's giving power. It's bringing good fortune, happiness. So the outcome, if you can have the courage, because again, this is you, this is your foundation, this is what cannot be changed, this is what you're unaware of, and this is your outcome. So this rocky foundation that you have built upon, if you make the decision to finally let this go, because again, it can't be changed, and it's actually a positive thing. Letting go is a good thing. If you can do that and have the courage to do that, and they're saying for some of you it involves communication. Some of you are going to have to communicate with that person. Some of you are going to have to communicate with someone else. Some with yourself. But it's part of that taking that action, and then things are going to move very rapidly in the direction that you want them to go in. You're going to get out of this dark, lonely place and be able to move forward. Now, I think that's pretty clear cut. I think that's pretty clear. But just in case, since there's a lot of you that listen, let's okay. So I was asking them, you know, what is the main thing that you guys are having to give up? What is it that you're giving up? The first card that we have is the falsita, and this is falseness, lies, hidden intentions, someone being untruthful. Then we have the bambino. And this is, you know, when people look at this, they think that, you know, it's a baby, it's pregnancy. But it also talks about birth, regrowth, starting something new, new beginnings. And then you have the casa, which is, you know, the house, the home, family, stability, traditionalism, you know, the family tree that we have here. So for everyone, this is pertaining to your home, your family, your stability. So for some of you, you had what you thought was a new beginning with someone, but they were lying to you. They had false intentions. They were not being honest and truthful, which is why you've now come to the decision point. And for some of you, this could be a small number tied to your workplace. Maybe you were told you were going to get a promotion. You thought it was going to be a new beginning at work. You were lied to. You were given incorrect information. And it is something that does affect your family, your home, your foundation. But for the majority of you, they're saying it's love related. So it was someone that you had wanted to build something with. You thought that this was a new beginning, potential new beginning that you could have with them. And it was built on lies, on being misled. But you're at a point of making a decision to build your home on a foundation, a firm foundation. So hopefully that helps everyone. Filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. Oh, wait. But I hit stop and we forgot to pull an angel answer card. Okay. Promise you guys you would get this. So think of a question. If there is something that you still are wondering about, something that wasn't answered during the reading, go ahead and get your question in your head. Think about what it is that you'd like an answer to. Do you have it? I'm going to pull one card from Doreen Virtue's Angel Answers deck. So hopefully you all got your question. Don't stop. Okay. So it is don't stop. And what we'll do, I'll actually read the book real quick. Let's see here. Maybe if we can find it. Okay. This is not the time to give up. Continue to move in the direction of your hopes, dreams, or plans. You are on the right path, and you should see progress as long as you stay the course. It's very important that you stand your ground and believe in yourself. Don't let others intimidate you into quitting. Just because they don't have your vision doesn't mean you shouldn't follow your heart. So hopefully that helps everyone. Filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.